My faithful student, come, sit by my side. I have felt a shift in the wind lately, and I believe that my time on this earth is soon coming to an end. So there seems no more opportune a moment than now for me, Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest swordsman to ever live, undefeated in over 61 duels, the samurai with no master, specialist of the dual blades, to hand to you my final work, the Dokkodo, or the way of walking alone. Within this are 21 rules to live by on your journey. Absorb them, emulate them, and spread my way of life to all who abide by the path of aloneness. So listen carefully, for I shall explain only once. Number 1. Accept everything just the way it is. Change is inevitable, especially as you go forth into the world alone. Go with the flow. Be flexible in your understanding. Don't be rigid in your perspective and worldview, but be open-minded. Your current circumstances and your past, some things just cannot be changed. The faster you can accept things, the faster you can act in a manner beneficial to you and others. If you are not getting better, you are getting worse. Number 2. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Do not get emotionally attached to pleasure, for pleasure in itself will not fulfill you. Satisfaction is only secondary. Purpose should be your primary goal. Happiness is a byproduct of achievement, self-understanding, and calmness. Pleasure has to be earned, otherwise it is empty, and in emptiness you will never be satisfied. You will always be in a state of lack, and this opens you up to being controlled by addiction. Instead, seek fulfillment through accomplishment. Number 3. Do not under any circumstances depend on a partial feeling. Do not act on your feelings. Act with logic and discipline. Feelings can betray you. Feelings can destroy you. Feelings are unreliable. What you feel now may not be what you feel later, so do not compromise your future by a temporary emotion. In any great undertaking, the best is to understand what you are getting into, and then to start. Number 4. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Do not be self-absorbed, for this only blinds your judgment. If you maintain a light sense of self, you'll find it easier to move on and move beyond. You will be more adaptable to change, and in everything, your ability to change and thrive will distinguish you from the rest. All great heroes stood for something greater than themselves. The irony is that in self-preservation, a man still ends up under the ground, but in self-sacrifice for a worthy cause, a man attains immortality. Number 5. Be detached from desire your whole life long. An attachment to desire leaves you open to manipulation and to error. Everyone has desires, but being overly attached to something or someone makes you lose perspective. By living without attachment, you learn to be happy with little. The happier you are with less, the more wealthy you become inside. Should you desire to produce more than you consume. You do not get what you want, you get what you deserve. Number 6. Do not regret what you have done. What has passed has passed. Learn from it, make the necessary amends, and dwell on it no longer. The man you are today is not the same man who walked the earth yesterday, nor the man you are tomorrow the same as the man who is hearing my words right now. Waste not your time on what could have been done or avoided. Focus on improving to prevent it from happening again. Forgiving yourself for past mistakes sets you free from the prison of your mind. Number 7. Never be jealous. There will always be someone smarter, stronger, better looking, or more privileged than you. If you should feel anything, then feel inspired. Do not entertain jealousy. Jealousy is a waste of time. It robs you the happiness of what you have and only brings you dissatisfaction for what you don't. A fish can forever be jealous of a monkey's ability to climb a tree, but that is not what a fish was made for. Remember that to whom much is given, much is also expected. And often people will not show you their pains, their worries, and the skeletons behind their closet. So be happy with your lot in life and recognize that you too have much that others want. Should you compete, compete with yourself. Number 8. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. Separation is inevitable on this path of aloneness. You do not own anything, not even your own body. The only constant things in life are change, death, and taxes. If you control how you perceive things, the things you perceive change. It is how you fill that void created by the loss that determines you as a man. Number 9. Resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself or others. When you harbor resentment or complain, you stay the same and subconsciously agree to handing over your control and autonomy over to whatever it is that bothers you. When times get tough, waste not your energy on giving excuses. Channel your energy into adapting to the situation at hand or moving away from it. Take everything positive and negative as a learning experience and fuel to push your improvement. A man who is content in everything is ready to face all challenges. Number 10. Do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. Many men have fallen to what seemed a beautiful thing at first impression. All their life's work, money, reputation, and freedom lost in a moment of lust. Keep your wits about you, for these feelings affect your judgment adversely. Be a man of logic. There is often more to lose than to gain. Should you love, love your path, love your purpose, for she will never leave you. Nurture your talents, for they will always reciprocate. Number 11. In all things have no preferences. Having no preferences makes life easier and more satisfying to live. An open mind will enable you to have broad and varied experiences which enrich your life, broaden your horizons, and stretch your comfort zone, allowing you to accomplish more great deeds. You can live anywhere, talk with anyone, eat anything, wear anything. That is a taste of freedom. Number 12. Be indifferent to where you live. On the path of your purpose, wherever life calls you, you must go forth. If you are called to live in a palace, good. If you are called to live in the jungle, good. Being attached to one fashion of living restricts your movement and freedom as a man. Regardless of your external environment, it is your attitude and perspective of things that determine your development. Number 13. Do not pursue the taste of good food. The decisions you make in nourishing your body affect your performance in the long term. Eat to live, do not live to eat. Food should be looked at as a way to get nutrition and energy. The better tasting something is, the more you should question its nutritional value. Accustom yourself to the natural taste of food without all the unnecessary additives. Accustom yourself to the right amounts of food, for abundance makes a man lethargic. Be content with anything and you will be happy with everything. You'll live healthier and spend less money. Number 14. Do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. Get rid of what is unnecessary, for these will weigh you down. It is ironic but true, the more you own, the more you are owned, and the more you worry. In all things, be a minimalist. The more you carry, the harder and riskier your journey becomes, both physically and metaphorically. Number 15. Do not act following customary beliefs. In everything, learn to think for yourself. Do not follow the herd. Just because everyone else is doing something doesn't make it a good idea. And just because no one does it, doesn't mean it's a bad idea. If the customs result in happiness, then by all means follow them. But majority of people I see who follow the norms are only pretending to be happy. All customs and practices were created by humans, and humans are not perfect. That should say it all. It is far more difficult to walk your own path, but I can tell you from my experience that it was worth it. Number 16. Do not collect weapons or practice with weapons beyond what is useful. Once you have found your gift or calling in life, focus on that. The more time you rob from developing on that gift and instead work to develop on other areas is a waste of your potential. Get rid of what no longer serves you, like a butterfly leaving its cocoon to fly. Apply yourself only to what is essential and needed in your life. Do not spread yourself so thin as butter over bread that the taste of the butter is no longer perceived. Number 17. Do not fear death. By fearing death, you fear truly living. The fear of death makes warriors weak and predictable. We often regret the things we did not do more than the things we did. If you act with fear, you act defensively. If you act with the acceptance of whatever may come, you strike offensively. Fear, therefore, is the enemy. Remember that death comes for us all. What will you leave behind as proof that you lived? Number 18. Do not seek to possess either goods or fiefs for your old age. This might not apply to you during your time, but I was a ronin, a samurai with no master, and have wandered these lands throughout my life. Seeking only to improve my swordsmanship skills and not to possess material goods made it easier for me to travel and dominate as a warrior. I took advantage of every single day as if it were my last, for I never knew if tomorrow would ever come. I sought not to preserve myself for old age, but to spend myself when I still had the energy and when it still counted. Provide the basics for yourself, but remember that the most important thing to possess in your old age is wisdom, strength in character, and a patient spirit with which to pass on your knowledge to the younger generations. Number 19. Respect Buddha and the gods without counting on their help. Strive first to do the best you can, for God helps those who can help themselves. First, you must take responsibility for your life, and the universe will take care of the rest. There is no such thing as luck. Luck is simply the right person doing the right thing at the right place, at the right time, and for the right reason. Number 20. You may abandon your own body, but you must preserve your honor. Honor transcends the body. A man cannot have honor if he knows not what he values and stands for. A long life, if you do things that go against your moral code, then you have kept your body, but killed your spirit. An honorable man can depend on himself, and other people can depend on an honorable man. Take on challenges you believe in, and see them through to completion. Your body is temporary and mortal, but that which you leave behind is eternal and immortal. Live with honor, die without regrets. Number 21. Never stray from the way. Once you have found your path, stick to walk down that path as far as your feet will carry you. Should you stray, stray for a purpose, and always seek to return with haste. Women, alcohol, media, do not be distracted by the empty calls of the world. These keep you from attaining the greatness you were created for. If you stray toward them, you may never return. Utilize the energy and time of your youth to go all in, for the older you get, the less effective and efficient you become. Not a second should be wasted. Stay on the path.